Well, hello my lovelies, it's Murky Meg here. It's Friday the 23rd of October and the Archwell website is now live. Yep, that's right. We were told that they were going to postpone it until 2021 because of COVID, but it seems like they have hit the live button early. Doesn't really give us much information, it's a bit of a bland, boring website. They've used the old Archwell with the Greek and the blah blah blah, all very nondescript. When you try and share the actual website, it does give you a little indication. It says so they want to build compassionate communities and to promote humane technologies. Now, whatever humane technologies means, I'll kind of break it down for you. It basically means that social media companies profit from outrage, confusion, addiction and depression, and they want to stop that by building better social media platforms or trying to incorporate this into already existing social media platforms to make it a more friendly place to be. Kid-friendly, so everybody's happy and gets on. If you've not seen The Social Dilemma on Netflix, it kind of goes into that, and I think this is where predominantly Meghan has got most of her word salad from. Of course, the website has a subscribe element to it. There's very limited information out there, and they said that if you want to find out more and be on the mailing list, then you need to join up. Of course you do, because there is quite heavy privacy terms and conditions, and I'll speak about those a little bit later on. But for me, the website just looks bland, boring, and very, very underwhelming. So we've still yet to find out what happened to all of those funds that were transferred from Sussex Royal to the MWX Foundation. There doesn't seem to be any connection between Archwell and MWX Foundation at present. And of course, we don't know where that $3 million from Disney went. Can you remember when the funds were transferred to MWX Foundation? We were told, or it was said, that those funds could be distributed into any other company that the person with significant interest and directors felt or seemed fit to do so. It'll be interesting to see if we can get hold of the accounts to see if a huge cash injection from MWX Foundation will be sent to Archwell. It's very interesting that they focus on the humane tech, because with this whole Time Talk 100 that she did with Serena's husband Alexis, and again I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on because there is some shocking stuff that has come about the links between those two and what I think Archwell is going to be about. During a talk with Time's editor-in-chief, Meghan likened social media, people who use it, to be drug addicts. She said that social media was a drug addiction. Harry said exactly the same thing a few years ago. He likened social media to drugs. It seems to be that they are hell-bent on creating this narrative that social media is the root of all evil. And you've got to ask the question, why? Why are they suddenly turning tack and going on this bandwagon that we must sort out society that goes onto social media and we must make it all PG-13? During the Time 100 talks, Meghan admitted that while she and Harry don't speak tech, they know the experience of being a human being and the pain and suffering and joy that has come from this World Wide Web. They also spoke about the state of our digital experience. I think they need to have a quiet little word with their supporters as well, because they have gone off the scale. It's one of the reasons why I've been a little bit quiet recently. Over the last couple of days, I've received numerous death threats from their supposed fans, even threatened me with the wrath of the Hells Angels. But by not speaking out and condemning their behaviour, Meghan Markle has aligned themselves with her supporters, and even so because previously they even called up a supporter and thanked them for raising money The supporter was one of the worst examples of what not to do on social media. The vile that came out of her mouth towards the royal family was quite frankly disgusting. So basically they're lecturing the world on how that they think we should all live by their rules, their kindness, their attributes need to be for everybody to abide by. This is what it seems like they're doing. What has really struck me as odd, I don't know why it struck me as odd because I really should know better. This Archwell company is using the same address registered as the senior care home that Doria is CEO of. Yep, that's right. Rick Geno is the one that set up both Archwell and also the care home that Doria is now in charge of, running, CEO of. How is that possible? How has Doria's new gig got the same address for all of their registration details as Archwell? You ask me. Where's that money come from to set up that company? Doria is CEO of Loving Kindness Senior Care Management, which was set up in October 2019 using the agent Rick Geno. Now he's the powerful Hollywood lawyer that Meghan Markle uses. How is that possible? Now remember, this really wasn't what they originally wanted. They wanted to keep hold of Sussex Royal. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens to their millions and millions of followers on their Instagram account, because Instagram do not move followers from account to account. Some people are led to believe that the royal family own that Instagram account Sussex Royal because it's under that Sussex Royal umbrella. Will Instagram give in and finally move them over from Sussex Royal to Archwell, or will they have to start from scratch? Do you think that they should move from Sussex Royal to Archwell, or do you think that would be crossing a line? I'm going to talk about the privacy terms and conditions on the Archwell website now. There are lots of them, and while they do tend to be pretty standard, there is a very strange element that they can, if they want to, sell your details on to third-party companies. Now, again, some companies do this. It's not that uncommon, but for two people that are so heavy on privacy, they want to data mine your information. And this isn't just if you subscribe to their website, it's if you click on the website itself. If you accept their cookies, they can use your data in the same way that social media does to pass your info to make a profit. In theory, you could subscribe to their website, give your information. This then gives them your IP address, and they can track your personal information. They can get your IP address even from accepting the cookies at looking at the site. You look at the site, accept the cookies, you are giving your permission to use your data and pass it on to similar companies and technologies. Does that go in line with the humane tech? I bet it doesn't. One of my followers has given me a simplified version of what this basically means, and I thank her greatly. She doesn't want to be named, but you know exactly who you are. I really am quite thankful for it. She basically says that from the other things in the privacy statement, she can see they will be using marketing techniques, including lead nurturing, lead generation, and lead scoring. She uses these when working on customer acquisitions. Everyone is a customer to them. They will use a platform such as Adobe or Salesforce, which have different marketing and sales tools to manage prospects and customers. Some of the tools include marketing automation. For example, an email newsletter could be personalized based on certain preferences. If a prospect clicks on a website, picks up a cookie, then looks at 10 more pages, they score the user higher than someone who looks at 2 pages for 1 minute. They have all this info over time, and once the users give them their data, such as mobile phone number or email, It matches up with all the previous info it has collated. If they can see a user has a new iPhone 12 Pro Max and uses a Mac laptop, that will score them as having more money than a cheap Samsung. They will target that user more money or just differently altogether. They will be able to have a look how you are accessing the internet and use that to their own advantage to manipulate the data mining and gain more money. From the little information that you may give them, they can gain a lot. Now, I'm going to have to speak about Serena Williams' husband, Alexis. Now, he was the co-founder of Reddit. What's happened over the last couple of days has shocked me to the very core. I didn't think that anything could get much worse with regards to aligning themselves with the Sussex squad. Now, I firmly believe that Meghan Markle and Harry are wanting to rival Facebook or Twitter. They want to build with Alexis, Serena Williams' husband, a better way of dealing with social media. Now, Alexis has invested heavily in a company called Centrify Tech. Now, he's aligned himself with Centrify Tech. He's actually invested in it, which basically means this. This is the bio on Twitter. They say that we all deserve a better internet. Centrify helps platforms of every size protect their users and their brands from abuse and malicious content. In a few of their recent tweets, they said that in an interview with Meghan Markle and Alexis Ohanian, explained how Centrify is using machine learning to understand language to make social media platforms safe from hate speech and harassment. In layman's terms, they want to moderate social media for a safer, better world, i.e. censorship and suppression. Alexis Ohanian has really aligned himself with this. He was the one that did the Times 100 talk with Meghan. He did something that really did shock me to the core. He retweeted the Sussex Squad podcast and said, using a clap in between every single word, taking a stand against hate communities on your platform is good for business. Yes, that's right. He retweeted one of the most vile accounts out there. This account has said the most disgusting things about the royal family, about Twitter users. They have used disgusting racial slurs. And even when tweeted with the facts, with snippets of this podcast saying the most disgusting things, he didn't retract his tweet. The irony is outstanding that he has aligned himself with a company that does AI tech to be able to find and eliminate hate speech, harassment and threats from social media, yet he retweets an account that does this very thing. I am so angry. I am almost boiling and have steam coming out of my ears. The irony and hypocrisy is staggering. That he retweeted one of the most vilest accounts out there without batting an eyelid, without doing his research. He didn't even care. What sort of a man is that? I'm sorry, but I have no time for him whatsoever. He wants to align himself with Meghan Markle and she wants to align himself with him. Go for it. You cannot set up a platform to control social media that sits on top of all the other social medias and then controls it. You will never control anything with regards to that. You cannot control free speech. It will not be allowed and you can't do that. What you're trying to do is censor us because you do not like the way that we speak. You do not like the criticism and the way that we uncover the truth. The Sugars are screaming for the fact that if I have clicked on the Archwell website, they now have my IP address and they will come for me. Well, do you know what? I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still putting up videos. I've still got a Twitter account. I've still got an Instagram account. And none of them have ever received a suspension or a strike or anything like that. Because do you know what? I don't stoop down to your level. I don't use gutter talk. I use facts and I use my mind. And I am so grateful for everybody's support in getting me here today and to continuing my support in keeping me here today, because right now I am so angry about all of this that I am getting at the moment. So angry that all I'm doing is just highlighting the hypocrisy, finding out the real truth, what's going on, connecting the dots. Yet I'm the one that is constantly being aimed at, and I'm so sick of it. I really, really am. So on that joyful note, ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to know your thoughts. What do you think of the site? Is it a bit bland and blasé? What do you think they're going to do with that data? Do you think they're going to sell it on to third parties and make a load of wonga? And of course, what do you think of that connection between Meghan Markle, Centrifuge and Alexis? It's just shocking that he retweeted that podcast. I'm still spinning from it. I really am. I would love to know your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.